It's 5 awesome Transformers, guys. I'm Darth Thievius, and I'm your Tuesday. Okay, so topic this week, size. Could go with, toy sizes, things like that. I'm going to go with the problems with size in G1. And there are a lot of them. Most of the time, robots were one size in this shot, another size in that shot. There was no consistency across the board. But there are a few who just are glaringly outscale in different modes. It's just insane. First one, gotta start with Megatron. Here he is in bot mode, about the size of Optimus Prime. Turns into this tiny gun. The gun doesn't even have a consistent size. Sometimes it's big enough where it has to be carried by a plane. Another time it's big enough to fit in Starscream's hand. Another time it's big enough to fit into a human's hand. That's just... They call it mass shifting. I think they made that up just to appease everybody. I just call it sometimes lazy writing. Omega Supreme. Everybody admits, yeah, he's a big badass. But, think about it. He turns into a rocket and a base. Yet when he takes off, that entire base fits inside the little rocket part. His robot mode's about the size of Superion, maybe larger from what they showed in the cartoon. But he's able to get down low enough where he can actually talk to somebody face to face and tell him about his problem with the Constructicons. But on top of his entire base fitting inside the rocket, he can also carry about half of the Autobot army. So how big is he really? Nobody knows. I guess he's as big as they needed him to be for that story. Then we come to Astro Train. This one sticks out the biggest, and anyone who's seen the 86 movie will know what I'm talking about. Astro Train in robot mode, about the size of Starscream. But, somehow in shuttle mode, he gains TARDIS-like proportions. His interior, he can hold almost everybody in the Decepticons that went to Autobot City to fight, including Devastator, without having to stoop over. So figure that one out. Then we can get to Skylynx. He's another one. In his combined robot mode, if you call it a robot mode, I'm not sure what you call that mode. He can fit many, many Autobots inside. Yet, they've shown him being only large enough to pull Superion through space. So that brings me to the last one I want to discuss. And that's Unicron. The size of Unicron is so inconsistent in G1. You look at him in the movie. He was pretty consistent in size there. His robot mode, large enough to destroy whole cities on Cybertron with one swipe of his hand. His head was so massive that the Quintesson and Junkion spaceships crashed through his eyes without completely removing everything in the eyes. They fit within the circumference of his eyes. Those ships were massive. Yet you get to the G1 cartoon, you get to some of the episodes, and the size of his head around Cybertron is always changing. Sometimes his eyes would be a little bit bigger than the Autobots and Decepticons going through him to get into his head. And apparently, his eyes were only the size of Metroplexes and Trypticons, because Starscream had to steal them so he can get a body back. So there you go. Size. They've gotten a lot better in the newer shows. There's no size issues in Prime. There's no size issues in animated. Some of the Unicron trilogy didn't have too many size issues. G1 size was all over the place. That's about it for me this week. I'll catch you guys next week. Thank you.